Surprise, surprise, I remain bearish on Bitcoin, looking for short trades and lower prices to come. In this video, I'm going to be telling you the exact reasons and targets that I have for the short trades, why I am very confident in lower prices, and how I can be giving you tips to remain calm and collected for the lower prices. You know, a little bit of short and chill. So this is going to be a very informative video for you. So, you know, the one and only thing I ask, it's not for likes, it's not for shares, it's just pay attention. You know, if you can pay attention to this video, really extract and listen to the information that I'm going to share with you, I really feel I can benefit your trading, you know, and help you become a profitable trader. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for in this video, and that's my aim to help you. So let's pick up right where we left off my last video. And in that last video, we were trading just above $27,000, right? And I was once again confident a drop will be coming on Bitcoin. I was explaining why I was shorting the value area low retest, why I was very confident we're going to be making a new low here below $27,000. So I'm just going to do a quick about 3-minute recap on that retest, how it broke down, and this sideways price action that we've got off the back of it. Then, of course, I'll be moving on to the upcoming targets and why I'm still looking for lower over the rest of this week to come. So first of all, I'm going to go back here, zoom back a few days, and educate you on this drop to the downside. So I'm going to be sharing with you some posts within the Champions membership that we have. So you can see my thought process live in the time. So we're looking back, but these were all posts happening live in the time during the action. So as we retested $27,000, you know, as soon as we're getting this retest, I'm telling my team, I'm not longing that. Okay, this is not new information, but just to remind you, as soon as we tap that, telling my team, not longing that retest. What I'm actually looking for is another move to the downside. Okay, another move to the downside and taking out that low. Of course, the value area low here, retested the highs, taking those highs. These are all short trades because we still have the higher term time frame bias. We still have great confidence, very high confidence this low is going to be taken out. So we're looking for the shorts because we're definitely, well, we're very confident in lower prices to come, right? So, you know, so far so good. We eventually make our way down below this. We actually retest the CC, take out the point of control, and then we make our way down eventually to what we wanted to see below $27,000. Okay, upon taking out $27,000, okay, this is where I was potentially looking for an SFP of this low, but even down on the 1-minute chart, we had no SFP. So there's clearly no long trade to be had. We got to be remaining looking for lower prices. Okay, so now I start to update my team about the order flow. So this is always a question that people love to know about, right? So obviously I'm pretty skilled at reading the order flow. I've been doing this a long time. So what I do whenever I get a reactionary trade, I'm here zooming in on the order flow. I'm looking at my HL, the time, the trade counts. I'm getting the most detailed information and data possible to make a very well-informed decision. Okay, and my decision was, okay, we've seen the open interest, we've seen the CVD, we've seen the delta. For me, this is a very big weakness on the order flow on Bitcoin. So this is live in the time. You can see trading around 26,900. So we've just broke below 27K. Look at that. Large open interest increases, big negative delta. This is a very, very, very bearish breakdown. Okay, so my thought process to the team, we've got the valid failed auction now. We have got the failed auction. We've now got an entry for a swing trade short. Invalidation is above the high and target, you know, back down here below $23,000. I give my team a smaller invalidation if they want, and that's at the previous day value area low. So of course, this could be classed as a fairly wide stop loss. It's absolutely valid, and the one I used. If you wanted a smaller one, I also gave them the option of previous day value area low, right? So that was at 27,176 at the time. So, you know, the main thing here is that there's no hesitation. There's no might do this, might do that. It's here's the trade. Let's go. Okay, we've got the short and chill, higher term time frame bearish bias. You know, let's keep on looking for lower. Wonderful short trade entry is overnight. The failed auction confirmation has already given a 5% drop to the downside, and here we are trading now below $26,000. So, you know, that's obviously gone very nicely indeed. Actually, I forgot about that. I did make a tweet. You know, I don't forget about the public. I do also update you here as well, right? And before the drop, on the 30th of August, I was telling you, Bitcoin is having a nice rally, yes, but I wouldn't get too excited. There's no higher term frame sign of strength. That's why we're trading here in the chart. I'm telling you, price can be trading back down below $26,000 quicker than you think. All I saw upon that break here was a lot of bulls, a lot of excitement, a lot of FOMO even. I'm just remaining, as always, calm, collected, and you could say bearish. There's no sign of strength. Okay, price can be trading back down below here. I think I even went on to answer that question to explain what a sign of strength. Yeah, here you go. There's no sign of strength. We pumped because of news. This is a classic sign that we get the BART pattern and dump straight back down. And of course, later after this, we got that, right? So, there was definitely the signs, there were definitely the heads up. And so that's moved on and analyzed that bit of the chart. So I'm going to remove that for you and we're going to start to zoom in. I'm going to analyze this last part and then explain what we're looking at next. So really simply, what we had then is a mini parallel channel, right? So we have our range high, our range low. Funnily enough, have a guess? Yep, once again, in the Champions live stream, I gave one and only one short trade setup, and it was off of a day trade swing failure pattern. I was explaining how, we've just seen a failed auction. This is very bearish. I am remaining with my higher term time frame bias. I am remaining in shorts. This is the one and only opportunity you have for a short now. And hopefully you all know what happens next. We did move on to swing failure pattern, that range high. So once again, it just goes to show, have the plan, have the confidence, see the reaction, take the trade. Okay. Of course, a few hours later, we start to make our way down. Hadn't hit a take profit one at the time on that. And now here we are making our way down, waking up this morning, still remaining with a higher term time frame bias. And well, here we are a few percent to the downside, right? So whether it's the higher term time frame failed auction plans, whether it's the lower term time frame day trade, short trade plans, we're able to capture and profit from the higher term time frame, from the lower term time frame day trades. We're covering all market conditions, giving the best trades and the highest probability outcomes. And it's working very well indeed so far, right? So that's everything that I wanted to cover from the past few days, so you can get the insights and understandings of why I traded the way I did. This was because this was a large move up. We missed the low here on Coinbase. I'm thinking, okay, I'm very confident we break down below that low. We break down below the low. The only thing I'm thinking then is, okay, this is a confirmed failed auction. The order flow is very bearish. Just, trading the charts, the information, the data as it comes to me. We get as correctly predicted, a large move down. Then I'm thinking the only opportunity we have is a simple swing failure pattern of the range high. We got the swing failure pattern of the range high. We got a short trade. That's not too complicated at all. If you understand the content that we teach, which if you don't understand the content that we teach, right? If you don't understand swing failure patterns, if you don't understand how to read this order flow correctly, well, that's what we teach within the whole course at Chart Champions, from beginner to master level, high, very, you could say pretty in-depth, complicated theories. It's all taught on our website. So if you want to educate yourself and understand this information as we're sharing it, well, of course, you can do that via the website, chartchampions.com. So moving on now to what I'm looking at next. As mentioned, I am bearish still. I am looking for lower prices. I am going to remain calm and collected for those lower prices to come. I don't feel any fear. I don't feel any doubts. I'm confident in my analysis and my trades. So I'm looking now for another move down to the low of this channel. Okay, so that's taken out 25,300. Of course, we slightly made that higher low here on Bybit. So I'm looking for this to come down and take out these series of lows. And essentially, this is then just a small channel to be trading, right? So we know we've seen a rejection off the range high. We can, of course, come down to range low, get a reaction for back up to the range high. And at some point, this range is going to break out. Okay, of course, my preferred scenario is that we come to the range low first. And then from there, I could look for the long trade. And if we break out this range high, well, I definitely understand we could be trading back above $27,000 quicker than you think. But for me, I still definitely remain bearish as it stands. I'm looking for a move down to the lows. I'm looking for us to take out this low here to the range low on specifically Bybit. Of course, this is where I trade. That's the next step that I'm looking for. So where am I wrong? As a trader, even with high confidence, I still understand there's a possibility that I'm wrong, right? It's always possible. So I would say right now, we got a very high probability of coming down to taking out the range low. My probabilities change if we break above this range high. They changed drastically and greatly because I recognize then the opportunity of a large move to the upside. I would close, of course, these local short trades because I'd actually be thinking, okay, now we can, move up to above $27,000. So, you understand how my brain and thought process is working here, right? I first of all remain patient for a short trade setup on the intraday. Okay, and on that intraday setup was simply swing failure pattern of range high. We get a swing failure pattern of range high. Pairing that with my higher term time frame bearish bias, of course, you're going to take that short. We got very high probability of coming down to range low. Still, those probabilities stand right now. The probability only changes for me if we, instead of, would have seen a breakout of that range high, which was here, instead of seeing the SFP, we got a breakout, which of course we didn't get. So, that's my thought process and how my brain is working right now. I understand the probabilities are very high for lower to take out this low. From here, I can look for the long trade. I'm happy to take longs in a downtrend. It's acceptable. Of course, if we don't get the reaction there, then I continue to look down for the lower prices that we have within this chart. First of all, the NPOC, right? 24,850. Then we can be looking back down if we don't get a reaction there to, well, simply below $23,000. Okay, so we got the monthly and then we got the weekly NPOCs down here. So for me, there's levels of interest, very much so to the downside. First of all, the channel low, and as always, I will wait for the reaction. Once we come down to the channel low, I'll flip over to the order flow and I'll start to make an informed decision of, do I want to take a long trade or will I hold off on that and, really simply wait for the next levels of interest to the downside. Again, when we get those reactions, when we hit those levels, first thing I'm going to be doing is updating the champions inside of the Discord. So just when we hit 27K, I told them I'm not longing. As we hit this level, I'm going to be saying, whether I will long or whether I'll remain short and bearish looking for lower. So if you want those real-time updates as well, you can get them in the champions group. I just want to emphasize the champions group is not a signals group. It's not meant for signals calls or following along. It is really meant for the educational side of things. And, it's obviously a bonus having access to our thought processes. But, that's really meant for confirmation of your own trades. Finally, what will I end with here? I'll end with, actually, I'll leave this in the comments below of what you're interested in. The first thing, of course, was, people asking my thoughts on Femex. If you want my thoughts on Femex, I think it's an acceptable exchange if you don't want a KYC, but my preferred exchange is always going to be Bybit. But, Femex is an option now that other exchanges are implementing KYC. But the main thing that I wanted your interest of is that what's happening to the prop firms, funded traders situation, specifically on FX, right? So, you can see my thought process that I gave, back on the May, back in May, of my thoughts on this, and it's kind of the Ponzi schemes that funded traders. It also, people can make funded traders seem, oh wow, I'm a funded trader, I'm really good, but it's definitely not definitely not what you would be thinking in that regards. If you'd like my information, if you don't know my opinion and thought process on this, then let me know in the comments down below, and I won't take up any more of our time, right? So yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know, and I can dedicate a few minutes to that in another video or dedicated video. But for me, I'm going to say thank you ever so much. I hope you've enjoyed. If you want more from myself and the rest of the Chart Champions team, you know where to get that via chartchampions.com. It's where you got the inbuilt journal. It's where you got the vault, where you get the cheat sheets and templates. It's of course where you've got the whole video library, from the educational contender sessions to the champions streams, to the live trading, to the AMAs, to the roundtables, to the trade recaps, everything that you need to become a profitable and successful trader. So if that sounds good, you know where to get it. chartchampions.com. I'm going to wrap it there. I'm going to say thank you ever so much. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video I make here on YouTube, which, I don't know when that will be, of course, but yeah, I've got a video coming up tomorrow within the champions, so you always get me there every single day of the week. Thank you ever so much. Cheers, and that's me signing out. Goodbye.